And we are live for Chicago Blackhawks hockey as they face the Detroit Red Wings. Let me get my score banner posted and ready to go for the stream. Have that now set, and we are live for some Chicago Blackhawks hockey to face their old longtime rival, the Detroit Red Wings. Can we get Detroit sucks in the chat, guys? Let's see those Detroit sucks chants. The game should start here soon. Hey, Hawkthorne, how are you doing? Decided to go live for today's game because it's Blackhawks versus Red Wings. I'm doing all right. I'm back down at my apartment for a little bit. So I decided to go live at the apartment. Got the Pat Foley jersey in the background today, which is great because I've missed seeing my Pat Foley jersey. We're in the 2009 Winter Classic. It's freaking cold outside, so it's time for some Blackhawks hockey. Come on, why is TNT just broadcasting a fast food like competition or something like that? And aren't broadcasting NHL yet, which is shocking because the game's on in a little bit. It's freezing outside? Yeah, it's freezing. I'm checking something, guys. Stand by. How are you doing? Please stand by for me to see why TNT is taking so long to start broadcasting hockey. I'm checking the guide right now. So I guess there's no pre and post game, like pre-game show on TNT. Thoughts on the Flurry rumors? I think they're stupid. From what Elliot Friedman said yesterday on 32 Thoughts, with how the Capitals are actively looking into Marc-Andre Fleury, it does suck to see. I really don't want to see the Hawks move him. Especially how much convincing it took Flower to come to Chicago. How's my audio coming, guys? It makes sense, Hawthorne. We are a team. It doesn't make sense for the Capitals to be actively hunting for a good goalie, but I guess they want a better goalie for a cup push. Cold in Orlando. Let me guess. That being 65 at least. I know how. I know it doesn't get that cold in Florida. $60. It's 60 degrees in Orlando. I would love that right now. It's really cold where I'm at. But it's in the teens, like 15 degrees today was the high, which was cold. Oh, I hope so, Tyler. I really hope so. So the game started. TNT's finally getting the NHL broadcast on. They have the heaters on. Yeah, I know how that is. When I used to live in Florida, we'll have the heater on around in the 60s. All right, guys. Since Tyler put a bold prediction of a 6-0 win for your Chicago Blackhawks, what's your guys' predictions? I don't like hearing it either, but it's likely going to happen with how this team is, especially the trade deadline, just about a month and a half away. Guys, if you're just coming into the stream, make sure to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a subscribe. I will highly appreciate it. 4-3 Hawks win in overtime. Okay. I would love to see the Hawks get a win. Since the two teams don't play each other much or in the different conference, it's all right if they go into overtime because you aren't battling against them that much for a playoff position. And well, the Hawks right now, I think how things have gone, the Hawks just don't look like they're able to contend for a playoff spot, unfortunately. Yeah, the scoring is not there for the Hawks. Let's go Hawks, Cole. Can't wait to go up to a game this in the next week. I'm actually going to be seeing going to the Blackhawk Canuck game next week on Monday. So heads up for Monday's game. A review might be difficult to do. I do miss Detroit being in our division. I miss them in our conference. I love being in division rivals with Detroit. We played them like 8 times a year. It was great. That rivalry will always be somewhat of a rivalry, but not a major part anymore. Your trade list: Stroman and Caleb Jones. That's it. That's it, Hawkthorne. I will probably do a video closer to the deadline if the Hawks haven't really made any trades and show who I think the Hawks will move at the deadline and what it will we'll see with this team coming in the further part. I understand. I completely understand, but we need first round picks, Hawkthorne. We don't have ours because if we win the draft lottery, our odds are against us already. We need major luck to win that draft lottery. Where Columbus owns our first round pick otherwise. I'm going to do a video on who I think will go at the trade deadline. Unfortunately, there's a couple players on that list I have a feeling can be traded, but I hope not. Especially like Brandon Hagel. I gave up one of the people on the list, but you could probably get a lot for Hagel. Our first round pick. What do you mean by that, Hawkthorne? CB, Strome's likely. I don't see the Hawks trading DeBrincat. Frank Silverelli may be a top insider in the NHL, but he's had some major hot takes before. And frankly, I can't see the Hawks moving on from Doc and DeBrincat. The Cat, I think, will stay, and he'll be the piece that the Hawks build around. Strome, I can see getting traded because the Hawks have been trying to trade him all season. I think Strome's value has gone up in the season now because he has a great face-off percentage. He's found himself at the dot, which usually a team going for the cup in the playoffs, they look for a good centerman, and Stromer has developed his centering position and developed it well for the Hawks. He's 56% on this season at the dot, which is great. So Strome could fetch us something. No, they won't be trying to trade off Lucas Reichel. He's a good young forward that the Hawks should build around. Strome to Florida, the issue there, Florida's linked to a lot of players, especially Calvin DeHaan. I've been hearing rumors about that Florida could be interested in Calvin DeHaan, but they're interested in more defense, not forwards from what it looks like. Hey, how are you doing? Now I could see Strome in Tampa work more than Strome than with the Panthers. I don't see DeHaan staying. That's the thing. He's had a great season. I just don't see it happening. Yeah, DeHaan's really stepped up his play this year because the last 2 years have been rough for him. Injuries and, well, frankly, he's just had a rough go in a Blackhawk uniform. That's a player to watch out for is Dylan Larkin. He's been playing well this season. Same with Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi, Scheider, and Larkin are key players to watch out for. Scheider, I believe, had himself a stellar game when we played them earlier this season, and that was the clipboard incident by Stupid Colleton. I don't think the Hurricanes will bring back DeHaan. Yeah, that is a somewhat a true fact because we don't have our first round pick, which is a major mess. If we were to somehow reacquire our first round pick from Columbus, the Jackets will hold it for a king's ransom. Flowers in net for your Chicago Blackhawks tonight, which is going to be great because Flowers been great for us. Actually, CB, today the Hawks made an announcement that they're still in the looks for a GM, but Kyle Davidson, who's acting GM for the Hawks, um, he's one of the candidates, and I honestly think Davidson remains as GM of the Chicago Blackhawks. Even though there has been things I've kind of disagreed with. Comesso's been looking good. He's probably going to be starting in net for Team USA, I think, in the Olympics. If that's the case, I'm going to keep an eye on Team USA in the Olympics. This year Olympics, now that the NHL players aren't going, it's not really going to lead to me caring all that much about watching the hockey portion of the Olympics, but now that Drew Camasso could be the starter, yeah, I could see myself waking up at 3 a.m. to watch Team USA play Team China probably at one point because I think they're in the same division. Yeah, Team China. To I don't like Chipotle. Yeah, they basically are playing the Kulu Red Star of the KHL for um Team China. Chris Chelios' son, I do believe, is actually playing on the Team China roster. The likely team that comes out with gold in this Olympic is the Olympic athletes of Russia. Basically, Team Russia. Because Russia technically can't compete, so they get to send off their athletes and they play under Olympic Athletes of Russia name. Okay. Whatever floats your boat. Let's say that with that because honestly, they're still sending off Team Russia basically. Instead, they can't be called Team Russia. Now, I do hope Eddie Olczyk is okay because he had to go to the hospital after during the third period of the game against the second game against the Wild. He missed last game, and his son did well with Pat Foley the other night. The last two nights, the last two games. I really enjoyed Nick Olczyk. He reminds me a lot of his dad and how they sound so similar, and just the way they talk about the game. Checking something real quick. Lafferty on the second line. Did the lines just get posted? I've liked Lafferty. He's been he's really surprised me. He's been on the second line, yeah. He's been on the second line with Tays and DeBrincat the last few games, honestly, and he's really surprised me how well he's performed with the Hawks. Because when we traded for him, I kind of was on the fence and thought this is a bad trade for the Hawks, but Lafferty's really kind of surprised me in how well he's performed. So here's the projected lines for tonight's game. First line, Hagelstrom, Kane. Second line, DeBrincat, Tays, Lafferty. Third line, Kubalik, Doc, Kurashev. I do like the Kubalik, Doc, Kurashev line. That should go well. But the fourth line, which has been playing red hot as of late, Borkstrom, Carpenter, and Entwistle. They're playing great for some odd reason. And on defense, it's McCabe. I'm assuming Steph Jones, then Calvin DeHaan Murphy, and Caleb Jones Gustafson, and in net Marc-Andre Fleury, and backing him up is Average Soderblom. I can pull that up. Here, I will share screen real quick to show you guys the projected lines. Oh, that's cool, CB. I didn't know. So, on projected lines, you have right here from Scott Powers, Hagelstrom, Kane, DeBrincat, Tays, Lafferty, Kubalik, Doc Kurashev, Borgstrom, Carpenter, and Wessel, McCabe, Jones, DeHaan, Murphy, Jones, and Gustafson, probably Caleb and Gus. And then Fleury, Soderblom. They should call up Glavis. I agree. He was great. $18-0 in Romania. Okay. Now that's insane. That's a laugher. Yeah, I really liked Glavis. He was really good for the Hawks in his 2 games that he played. All right. Chicago Blackhawks hockey is time between longtime Original Six rival, the Detroit Red Wings. Well, that's okay tandem for broadcast. Hang on. We gotta watch out for Raymond and Scheider. They're pretty good. Kirby Doc at the dot, winning the faceoff against Still and Larkin. Murphy just dumping it into the offensive zone where Detroit gains control. Detroit now comes up with it. It's Nedeljkovic feeding the puck over to Nick Leddy. Nick Leddy, the former Chicago Blackhawks, settling things down for the Red Wings in the defensive zone for themselves. Kirby Doc gets in the neutral zone, going up to Kubalik. Kubalik going on the rush, and that will be an offside by Philip Kershev. That's typical for national broadcast games because they do some pre-game stuff on, and then it leads to a late start. That's typical. Detroit coming up with the puck and going into the neutral zone. Hawks keeping the pressure on. Robbie Fabry, the guy who Corey Crawford attacked in the 2016 playoffs, has the puck. Alex Zabrinka in the offensive zone, but former Blackhawk Pius Suter comes up with the puck. Fabry gaining control, clearing it down the ice. Marc-Andre Fleury settling the puck down. Fleury getting it up the ice over to Sam Lafferty. Lafferty getting across the ice to McCabe. McCabe up to DeBrincat. DeBrincat in the offensive zone, trying to look for an opening. And the Wings Stahl gets it up the ice over to Fabry. The Wings get it, and the Hawks clear it down the ice as Tyler Bertuzzi was offside. Is that for the fact you think the Hawks are going to get blown out in the first period, or what? Detroit battling the Hawks, and that was a weird hit. Hawks losing control, Detroit settling it down. Patrick Kane comes up with the puck, but Stahl gains control. Stahl in the defensive zone for the Red Wings. And now the Wings gain control, and Stahl goes right back up with it. Stahl gets it up the ice, and the Wings cutting in, and a save by Fleury. Detroit settling in offensive zone, looking for an opening, and a save by Fleury. I don't think Kalynuk has been playing well in Rockford. That's the thing. I think Kalynuk has not been playing well. Hawks gaining control in the defensive zone. Ryan Carpenter getting it over to Jake McCabe. McCabe getting it down the ice, and the Hawks are still stuck in the defensive zone. Wings going in, and a good poke check by Marc-Andre Fleury. Nick Leddy keeping the play in the Hawks defensive zone, and a nice hit by McCabe, and a good save by Fleury. Fleury just trying to get the puck out off into the boards, and the Wings still gain control. Hawks now come up with it is Ryan Carpenter. Carpenter just clearing it down the ice, and the Wings now reactivate. Good checking by the Hawks and keeping the Wings out of play. Shots on net 3-0 in favor for Detroit. Nick Leddy with the puck. Leddy sending the puck up the ice, and the Wings now are on the rush once again. Dylan Larkin with the puck, and he shoots it in a good block by Calvin DeHaan. Wings now have it and setting it up. And there was a good block by DeHaan once again up front of Marc-Andre Fleury. Dylan Larkin getting battled, but DeKaiser now with it. DeKaiser clearing it down the ice over, and then DeHaan gets it and tries to clear it out of the defensive zone. The Wings still are pressuring the Hawks. Its shots are 3-0 Detroit. Total block shots are 3-0 Blackhawks. So 6 shots have been shot off, but the Hawks have blocked out half of the Wings' shots. Okay, now the Hawks are on a break. It's Philip Kurashev. Kurashev going in. Leaves it for Doc. Doc going in and tries to shoot it on the head of Nedeljkovic. Now Jake McCabe fencing up. It's now Kurashev. Kurashev settling things down in the offensive zone. Going over to Steph Jones. Jones with it. Deking down. Checked off the puck. Tays keeping control. Tays leaves it for DeBrincat, and he whips on a shot. But it goes over to Lafferty. Lafferty turns over the puck, and the Hawks have to go back down to the defensive zone to regain it. It's Steph Jones. Jones getting battled by Tyler Bertuzzi. Jones gets it up the ice, and Lafferty is going in for a break. It's Nedeljkovic gaining control, sending the puck up to Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi leaving it for Suter. Suter going across the ice for Fabry, and a save by Fleury. And Whistle with it, going over to Lafferty. Lafferty on a break, going in, trying to beat Leddy into the zone, but Leddy checked him to the boards. Fabry gaining control, and the Wings reactivate in the defensive zone. It's Nick Leddy. Leddy going up the ice with the puck and getting checked by Brandon Hagel. Hagel battling Leddy and keeping the pressure in the offensive zone for the Hawks. Pius Suter with it and clearing it down the ice. Steph Jones gaining control, and there was offsides by Detroit. There's a couple former Blackhawks on Detroit. Pius Suter, who the Hawks should not have let go last offseason. Nick Leddy, who won the Cup with the Hawks in 2013. Jordan Osterley. Yeah, I agree. We should have kept Pius Suter. It was frustrating to see him go. Hawks winning a faceoff and trying to clear it, but Zadina trying to break in, and he shoots in a nice sliding save by Fleury. Hawks are getting pressured. Ernie gets it down. Ernie for the Wings almost gets it, but DeKaiser keeps it in play. Wings now battling again. It's Raymond. Raymond gets it for Zadina. Zadina going in and getting checked by Strome. Ernie gets it back down, and the Wings are still cycling the puck. The Hawks' main line of Kane, Strome, and Hagel hasn't been working this well. And a nice chance by Hagel on a backhand shot. The Wings now regain and going in. Calvin DeHaan with the puck behind Marc-Andre Fleury, settling things down for the Hawks on the defensive zone, going up the ice with a clearing, and that's going to be an icing. Maybe not. Yes, it is. Yeah, that's probably so he could be put on the taxi squad. Because no team's going to claim Brett Connolly. Wings gaining control as Osterley shooting it down, and they set up again. Calvin DeHaan having to battle Smith, and DeHaan comes up with the puck. DeHaan leaves it for McCabe. McCabe getting checked, but clearing it down. But the Wings keep it in, and there's a chance up front of the net, and Fleury makes a good save, and the Hawks clear it out. Hawks now on an attack. It's the Wings regaining control, though. Osterley trying to clear it down the ice, and that will settle things down for Jake McCabe. Connor Murphy has the puck. Murphy settling it up over to McCabe. McCabe trying to clear it down over to Kubalik. Kubalik in the offensive zone getting checked by Hronek. There was an offside. Okay. Yeah. No team's going to claim Brett Connolly. His contract's not worth it. The only reason why we got him was so we can acquire Riley Stillman and Hendrik Borgstrom. Borgstrom, not offensive power. Brian, I have a video probably coming soon on that. I am going to do a video on it just because, yeah, it's going. I think the Hawks are going to do a fire sale. I hope they don't trade some players. I really hope remain with Hawks, like Alex Brinkett, Brendan Hagel, Kirby Dach. Hope they stay. But I do see a fire sale coming. Oh, Edzo's first goal. Dominic Kubalik is out. Philip Kurashev at the dot versus Dylan Larkin. Kurashev getting tossed, so Kirby Dach goes into the dot versus Larkin. Docker wins the faceoff, and the Hawks clear it into the offensive zone. Stahl gets battled by Kurashev, and Dach tries to shoot it onto Nedeljkovic. Kurashev gains control off the boards over to Dach. Dach getting checked, but holding control. Dach gets it down to Kubalik behind the net. Kubalik setting up and going down the ice for Murphy, who shoots it on. And there was a couple deflections up front, and Nedeljkovic made a good save. It's 2-on-1 break for the Wings, and a good save by Fleury. Hawks on the attack again. Kirby Dach battling in the neutral zone, clearing it down into the offensive zone, but Nedeljkovic keeping control. Dylan Larkin comes up with the puck. Larkin gets it across the ice, and the Wings activate. The Wings getting in, and that's going to be in the neutral zone. Nick Leddy gains control, and Jordan Osterley gets it up the ice. Steph Jones settled things down in the defensive zone for the Hawks for line changes. Shots on net 7-2 in favor for Detroit. Hawks going in. It's Patrick Kane. Kane looking, fires, and a save by Nedeljkovic. Kane gets it in, and Strome couldn't get enough of it. Tyler Bertuzzi comes up with the puck, getting it, and is Steph Jones in the defensive zone. Jones sends it up, and the Hawks can't get it out of the defensive zone. Pius Suter battling against Steph Jones. Man, I miss Suter. But Brandon Hagel comes up with the puck. Hagel clearing it down. Jordan Osterley settle things down in the Wings defensive zone. The Wings, Pius Suter getting it in the neutral zone, going up the ice, and Bertuzzi gaining control off the boards. Jonathan Toews steals it in the defensive zone, gets it up to Alex DeBrincat in the neutral zone. Going into the offensive zone is Lafferty. Lafferty breaking in, going around the net, shoots, gets it to Toews, and DeBrincat tries to get it in the slot, but couldn't get a shot off. Connor Murphy gaining control on the blue line, fires, and it goes wide. DeBrincat now with it. DeBrincat in the offensive zone, settling it, going up for Caleb Jones. Jones sets it over. gets it back for Murphy. Murphy down and going up to DeBrincat. DeBrincat gets it up to Lafferty. Lafferty to Jones. Fires and it goes wide. Pius Suter comes up with the puck and it goes to DeKaiser. DeKaiser couldn't get enough to clear it and Fabry gains it but couldn't clear it. It's DeBrincat going in and couldn't get a shot off. Gustafson leaves it for Jones. Jones goes through to break it, and the slot is saves. And Nedeljkovic on his belly makes a couple of saves. 10 minutes remaining in the first period. It's a 0-0 game. Shots on net, 7-5 at least now, maybe 6. The Hawks had a couple chances in that attack with DeBrincat, Lafferty, and Taves. Yeah, I did like Osterley. He became a offensive threat. Then we traded him. But he really hasn't been all that much in his career ever since we traded him to Arizona. Kershaw at the dot versus Dylan Larkin. Nope. Ernie going to the dot versus Kershaw. Kershaw loses the face off the wings, gaining control. Detroit going up is Hronek. Hronek gets it to Zadina. Zadina going in is Raymond. Not Raymond, Rasmussen. Rasmussen getting checked by Gus, and the Hawks now gain control. Kershaw in the neutral zone going into the offensive zone, leaves it for Doc. Jones gets it to Kubalik, and he scores! Kubalik on the doorstep. Hawks have a 1-0 lead, and Dominic Kubalik gets the Hawks on the board. Off the doorstep play by the Hawks. Steph Jones getting it over to Dominic Kubalik. That was a good play by Kubi. Jones shoots it. It goes through the 5-hole of Nedeljkovic. Kubalik gains control. It goes right in the empty net for Kubi. Hawks have a 1-0 lead by Kubi. 9:35 remaining in the first period. 1-0 lead for your Chicago Blackhawks. Shots on net. 8-7 in favor for your Chicago Blackhawks. Hawks clearing it into the offensive zone. Nedeljkovic behind the net playing the puck. Hawks regain control as Ryan Carpenter with the battle for and whistle to Borgstrom, and he fires it high. The Wings gain control, but the Hawks reactivate. It's Connor Murphy. Murphy on the blue line, shoots it to Carpenter, and he has a chance. Carpenter couldn't get it in. Then the Wings clear it. It's now Kevin Dahan in the defensive zone regaining control of the puck, but the Hawks are making a change. Settling things down is Dahan. Dahan trying to get that open pass for Murphy. Murphy goes over for Strome. Strome in the neutral zone, dumping it in. Nick Leddy gains control. Leddy battling with Kane, and the Dylan Larkin comes up with it. Larkin clearing it down. Osterley going in and activating, and the Hawks have to play some defense. Steph Jones gains control and gets it over to Kane. Kane who gets it to Hagel, and Hagel is on the rush. Hagel checks up in the offensive zone, tried to feed it over to Strome. The Wings regain control, and Steph Jones in the defensive zone comes up with it. Jones goes for McCabe. McCabe who clears it up to Strome. Strome goes over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat deking at center ice. And the Hawks, Sam Lafferty gains control. DeBrincat feeds it back down for Dahan. Dahan battling and getting tripped by Pius Suter. And the Hawks are going to go to a power play. Time to hit your shot. How is my play-by-play going for you guys tonight? I could see it. I can see that. They try and sign them. There's a player who I could see even try and crack the Hawks roster next year, even though it could be a smart move to let him play in Rockford next year, and it's Colton Dock. Colton looked well in the preseason for the Hawks this year, and he's looking really good this year in the WHL. Hawks should be going to a power play. I'm not. I really don't care about drinking anything really, so I'm not going to try that. Dylan Strome at the dot for the Hawks power play. Who's serving it? It's Pius Suter for the Wings. It's DeBrincat with the puck. DeBrincat settling things down for the Hawks to set up the power play. On to Strome. Strome over to Cat. Cat for Jones. Jones to Kane. Kane looking down to Strome. Strome gets it back to Kane. Kane looking for an opening and going back door set up over to Jones, and he fires it and it gets blocked up front of the net. Hawks trying to battle. It's Jones coming back up for that puck on the power play. Over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat fires, and Strome scores on the doorstep on a shot pass by Alex DeBrincat. Hawks lead 2-0 over the Detroit Red Wings. Dylan Strome up front of Nedeljkovic gets the Hawks a 2-0 lead on the power play from a great shot pass from Alex DeBrincat and a great pass across the ice from Patrick Kane over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat's shot pass to Strome leads to the Hawks on the power play goal to make it a 2-0 lead for your Chicago Blackhawks. I forgot to put a 0 for Detroit on here. Fix that. So you're making it a drinking game when the Hawks score, CB. Is that what you're doing? Shots on net are 10-7 in favor for your Chicago Blackhawks. It's 2-0 Chicago after a goal from Kubalik and Dylan Strome on a power play. Hawks now setting up in the offensive zone, and the Hawks couldn't make it in. That'll be an interesting player to sign. Hawks trying to set up again in the offensive zone. The Wings gain control. Is Zadina coming out with it? Zadina breaking through. The Wings now in the Hawks defensive zone. Wings setting up is Rasmussen. Over to Zadina. Zadina feeds it down, and the Wings set up. Is Stahl back for Rasmussen. Over to Ernie. Ernie tried to wrap it in, and that goes out of play. Shots on net 11-7 in favor for your Chicago Blackhawks. 6:36 remaining in the first period. I'm not going to do that. You can do that all you want. I'm not. I will throw my hat if a Hawk gets a hat trick. Wings setting up in the neutral zone. Wings getting it down. And Connor Murphy comes up with the puck. Murphy gets it to DeHaan. DeHaan tried to get it up over to DeBrincat, and the Wings battle against Connor Murphy. Murphy who gets it down the ice, and Nedeljkovic playing the puck. Nedeljkovic gets it over to O'Shirley. O'Shirley gets it up to Larkin in the neutral zone. Larkin breaking in for a pass, and the Hawks defend well. Patrick Kane comes up with the loose puck, and the Hawks now go on the attack. Brandon Hagel tried to get it to Strome, and the Hawks are in. Kane to Hagel, and he couldn't get it in. Nedeljkovic with a nice save. The Wings now going back on the attack. It's Rasmussen, or is that Raymond? Well, Dylan Larkin comes up with the puck. Larkin getting battled against Steph Jones. Kane going in. Kane in the offensive zone. Leaves it for Strome. Strome going in. Fires! Goal! Dylan Strome with his second of the night. Hawks make it 3-0 in the first period. Dylan Strome with his second goal of the night makes it 3-0 with 5:33 in the first period. Stromer, have yourself a night. Kaner leaves it for Strome, and Strome just rifles it top shelf, bar down, and the Hawks have a 3-0 lead. That was a beautiful goal by Dylan Strome. Great pass by Kane. No look back hand pass over to Strome, and Strome settles the puck down and rifles it top shelf, bar down. Timeout Detroit. I'm assuming they could change their goalie. Shots on net 13-8 in favor for your Chicago Blackhawks. At the start of the game, the Wings were out shooting the Hawks 7-2 for like the first 5 minutes of play, and then the Hawks get a goal. They move the puck well. They come out and play. Kirby Dach at the dot and wins the faceoff over to Murphy. Murphy gets it up the ice, and the Hawks now set up where the Wings regain control is Pius Suter leaving it for DeKaiser. DeKaiser sending the puck up the ice over to Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi in the offensive zone for Detroit, where Murphy tries to get the puck. Kirby Dach comes up with the loose puck, clearing it all down the ice. Nedeljkovic playing the puck. Nedeljkovic settling things down. Kirby Dach almost with a steal in the offensive zone, but Calvin DeHaan comes up with it. DeHaan gets it over to Docker. Dachson tried to get it out, but Suter was there to block it. Over to DeHaan. DeHaan getting it down the ice, and Bertuzzi comes up with the puck. Bertuzzi leaves it up, and Fabry gets it over, and the Hawks now battle again. Fabry gained control, and that was a tough pass for Scheider. Scheider, I should have said it was Scheider who was battling for that puck earlier. When I said Bertuzzi, my bad. Similar numbers. They have 59 and 53, so mixed it up. Maybe. Hawks win a face-off in the offensive zone. Gustafson leaves it for Hagel. Fires in. It goes wide. Gustafson gaining control, but Scheider comes up with it. Scheider gets it over to Stahl. The Wings now trying on attack is Pius Suter. Suter going in. And a nice block by Murphy. Yeah, Strome has always not been a consistent player in the NHL, but this year he's actually been pretty damn good at the faceoff dot. But this season, if you looked at it, is I don't get into the analytics, but if you've looked at his analytics, Strome's actually been pretty solid this year. I like Strome. He's not been bad. He's winning faceoffs. He's producing. The points aren't coming for him, but he's producing to help the Hawks. When the Hawks are out there with Strome out there, it seems like the Hawks generate offense a lot better. At the beginning of the year, I still don't understand why they would keep healthy scratching him. That was what baffled me. Stromer, I've always liked. Now, if you watch my video I made when we traded for him, was I mad about the trade? Yeah, I would admit I was mad. That video did not age well, but I can admit I was wrong about Strome. I like Strome. I agree we do need more consistent forwards, but we also do need players who can help generate in the offensive zone. And he does help generate when it comes to the offensive zone. And Strom this year, he's really upped his game, especially in the faceoff dot. Ernie with a shot and it shoots it wide. The wings set up in the neutral zone. It's Stahl getting it up the ice over to Zadina. Zadina getting checked by Caleb Jones. Hawks, Caleb Jones now with it, going over to Sam Lafferty. Lafferty in the offensive zone is DeBrincat. DeBrincat trying to check in, and the Hawks going to set up in the offensive zone. Where Stahl gets it up to Ernie. Ernie going in, clearing it down into Hawks defensive zone. Steph Jones now with the puck over to Jonathan Toews. Toews getting it over to DeBrincat, where the puck goes out of play. Uh, I know who. Yeah, Colleton. Yeah, Colleton did mess up Strom. I, I, I'm glad Colleton's gone. Yeah, I've noticed that too, Brian. But honestly, I think it's because he's trying to prove he should be in the lineup every night. And when he keeps getting scratched, it it messes. It does when a player gets scratched. It can either really lower their morale or somehow light a fire under them. Strom was healthy scratched way too much this year. So I would say it probably lowered his morale. The Wings setting up, shots on net 13-8 in favor for the Hawks, 2:40 remaining in the first period. Ryan Carpenter with the puck over to Eric Gustafson, who clears it, and the Hawks now in the offensive zone as McKenzie and Whistle tried to set up in the offensive zone for the Hawks, and the Wings come up with it. Wings getting poke checked by Kirby Dach. Dach comes up with it, going into the offensive zone, looking in, fires in a save by Nedeljkovic. Oh, the Hawks kept Colleton way too long. He should have been fired he should have been fired the night he gave the Hawks the clipboard against these Detroit Red Wings. He should have been fired that night. But it took them 6 more games after that to fire him. Kirby Dach at the dot. Come on, TNT. That's Colton Dach. They just showed a picture of Colton Dock, not Kirby Dock, but said that it was Kirby Dock being the third overall pick in the first round back in 2019. Docker comes up with the puck, trying to feed it to Kurashev. Kurashev loses control. The wings now set up. Wings going in to the neutral zone is a battle for that puck. Hawks really gaining a pressure where Doc gets it to Kubalik. Kubalik gets it up to Dahan. Dahan just bats it out of the air with his hand. Strider trying to break the wings into the offensive zone. Connor Murphy comes up with the puck, loses control, and the wings now set up. Stahl tries to shoot it, and a nice block by Dahan. Kane in the offensive zone having to battle for that puck, but the wings now clear it, and the Hawks set up in the neutral zone into the defensive zone. Steph Jones over, getting it up the ice to Kane. Kane tried to leave it for Jones, gets it to Hagel, though. Kane loses control, and Stahl gains control, and the wings now set up. Bertuzzi battling on the boards with McCabe, and Jones comes out with the puck. Jones getting it up to Kane. Kane almost loses control to Suter, and the Hawks now in. It's Hagel. Hagel getting checked. Hagel winning that 50-50 puck, but couldn't get a good pass off. Fabry now with it. Fabry breaking in. Fabry loses control. McCabe gets it up the ice for Dylan Strome, looking for the hat trick. Going in. Fires! And a save by Nedeljkovic. And a goal by Sam Lafferty. His first Chicago Blackhawk goal. Sam Lafferty on a rebound. And the Hawks have a 4-0 lead with 30 seconds remaining in the first period. Strome, have yourself a night. That goal set up Lafferty well because Strome shoots it on. He regains a rebound and shoots the passes across the ice for Sam Lafferty to get his first Blackhawk goal to make it 4-0 Blackhawks in the first period. I think we'll see Calvin Pickard in the second period. Nedeljkovic has not. The Wings are going to try and change up something. Hawks setting up. It's Alex Brinkett. Brinkett getting it down to Taze. Taze going to get it. Osterley does. Osterley gets it up the ice. It's Zadina. Zadina going into Rasmussen. Back for Zadina. Zadina getting checked, and Taze couldn't get control. Hawks now going on. It's Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat gaining control, and that will be the first period. This has not been a normal Chicago Blackhawk game this season. Yeah, I liked Dominic Cahoon, but he really hasn't been much since the Hawks got rid of him. Guys, I'm going to be right back. Just hang tight. I'm grabbing some water because that first period was very busy on my throat. So let me leave you to the thumbnail. Okay, we're back. Just had to get some water. Oh, man. That was some first period. That was probably the best I've seen the Hawks play in a first period of play all season. It's going to be hard to get rid of Danny DeKaiser in that bad contract. That first period was insane. Yeah, that was a fun first period of play by your Chicago Blackhawks. So, guys, since the um since the Hawks do have the trade deadline coming up this in about a month, what do you think will happen? Dang. Yeah, I probably will be sad too on that part. I'm going to have a live stream during the entire trade deadline. I will be live for the entirety of the NHL trade deadline when that happens. That will be a long day when that happens. I don't even know what day the deadline is this year, honestly. Let me look it up. There's still quite a bit of time left until the deadline. We still have 2 months fully. So, guys, um, next Monday I will be going to the game in Chicago between the Blackhawks and Canucks. Um, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do the review that night. I'm going to still try and figure that out. We'll see what happens. If the review might have to be posted the next day, or I try and do something special and do a review inside the United Center. Hey, the Canucks have been good since getting Bruce Boudreau, but right now they don't have any goaltending. I believe it is CB. I think it might be, but honestly, this season, almost every period has been the Blackhawks' worst period. The thing is, we still have a couple other games left. We have another game coming up this Friday, and we play against the Avalanche again for the last time this season, finally. But I do expect the Hawks to remember what Landeskog did when the Hawks pulled pulled Marc-Andre Fleury, and Landeskog decides to throw it on the empty net when the whistle was blown. You don't do that type of crap. Yeah, it was one of the best periods of play in a long time. Fleury really wasn't that busy. He had to make a couple saves that were tough saves, but he made the saves that he needed in the first period. That's all right, CB. Hawkthorne. I could. Who was it that to? Was it you who asked for me to redo my Reebok versus Adidas versus Fanatics video? It definitely was leaning in the way of the wings in the first few minutes. Yeah, I believe it was you who asked the last stream I had if I can remake it. I might do something different and do a pre-custom versus a customized Adidas jersey. Because pre-custom versus customized Adidas is actually really different. Because I can show different manufacturer, like different customizers and how they do jerseys also. Because I have multiple jerseys I could do basically a comparison to. That's cool, CB. Since you're in Orlando, CB, have you ever gone to an Orlando Solar Bear game? Really, $300 starting. Yeah, that is a fairly reasonable price for an autographed jersey. God, this intermission's running long, it feels like. Should be going into the second period here in a minute, you would think, right? Oh, hey, Chi-Town Fred. This has been a fun game so far. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will highly appreciate it, as we have Blackhawk content every almost every day, every game day for sure, for the Chicago Blackhawks on this channel. You know what? I'm not a big fan of Chicago style pizza. Deep dish pizza is not the way for me. Yeah, deep dish is not the way. Yep. Calvin Picard in the net for the Detroit Red Wings as Nedeljkovic getting yanked in the first period. Hawks are now on. Osterley gains control for the Wings where Nick Leddy comes up with it. Leddy going in the defensive zone, neutral zone now. And Leddy really on a break and a nice save by Fleury from a shot from Leddy. 9:43 remaining in the second period. 16-9 in favor for the Hawks. DeBrincat with the puck, getting a puck up the ice. Stahl gains control. Stahl gets it over to Ernie. Ernie couldn't get a clean control, and the Hawks are in. Lafferty gets it to DeBrincat. DeBrincat loses control. The Wings now go on the attack. It's Ernie. Ernie going in wide, and a good defensive play by McCabe. Ernie getting battled by Steph Jones. Jones now has to block a shot from Ernie. Zadina comes up with it, and a nice save by Fleury. Don't know what that. Huh. Ryan Carpenter at the dot versus Dylan Larkin. Larkin wins the faceoff. Strider going in, firing, and it was blocked up by a Wings player. Strider gaining control, getting checked by and whistle. The Wings now set up. Is Larkin getting it down, and the Hawks regain control. It's in whistle. In whistle in the offensive zone with the puck. DeKaiser comes up with it. DeKaiser tries to clear it. Hawks keep it in the offensive zone, and they couldn't set up anything. The Wings getting in, and there should be holding, but no calls coming. Hawks have a control. Ryan Carpenter sets it up, and the Hawks now are in. Is Ryan McKenzie and whistle clearing in. But Jordan Osterley's there defensively, getting it in to the neutral zone. Then the Hawks gain it in the defensive zone. Calvin DeHaan over to Gustafson, back to DeHaan. DeHaan sends the puck up the ice, and the Hawks Hagel comes up with the control. The Wings now with it. The Wings now set up and going in to the offensive attack. Hawks now regaining control is Eric Gustafson, who sends it over to Hagel. Hagel going on a rush, trying to battle over Osterley. Hagel almost beat Osterley. Hagel leaves it for Strom, looking for the hat trick. But Pius Suter comes up with it after a save by Calvin Picard. The Wings now going in is Fabry. Fabry in the offensive zone for the Wings, and the Hawks are playing some defense here. Calvin DeHaan comes up with the puck, but loses control back to Fabry. Fabry gets it over. Leno goes in and couldn't set up a shot. Calvin Picard sets up the Wings, and the defensive zone is Nick Leddy. Leddy with the puck behind Picard, and Leddy going up the ice, and the Wings now set up. is Kubalik getting it, and Doc now in. Doc setting up in the offensive zone, going across for Kubalik. Kubalik couldn't get it cleanly, and the Wings now come up with it. Detroit gaining the puck and going in, and the Hawks now back on the attack. But Valeno comes up with it. The Wings now set up. Wings send it on to Fleury, and the Hawks reset up. And it's Jones. Jones over to Kubalik. Kubalik just dumping it into the offensive zone where Picard settles the puck down. The Wings stall, gains control, and sends it up where the Hawks send it down the ice. Strider with the puck, sending the puck down the ice, and that should be an icing, but there won't be an icing call. Caleb Jones turns the puck over, and the Hawks now send it all the way down to the Hawks offensive zone to bring it battling Scheider, and Scheider comes up with the puck. The Wings now go on the attack and going in. But Ernie can't get anything set up. The Wings now go on. Hawks now playing some defense, but Murphy gets it cleanly off the boards over to Jones. Jones gets it to Taze. Taze in the neutral zone going in, and Kaiser checking Taze off the board on the boards. The Wings come up with the loose puck and go just dumping it down the ice, or Gustafson has to gain control. Gustafson leaves it for Carpenter. Carpenter sending it up for Alex to brink it. Looking into the offensive zone, trying to backhand set up. Wings can't defend, where DeBrincat comes up with the puck, and the Wings now come out with it. Raymond comes in, and Larkin getting checked by Gustafson. Hawks now come out with the puck is in Whistle, and Whistle dumping it in, where Osterley gains control in the Wings defensive zone. The Wings now set up, and Larkin in, trying to backdoor pass it over to Raymond. Larkin setting up. Larkin getting checked by DeHaan, and the puck goes all the way into the defensive zone where Larkin still has control. Over to Lucas Raymond, but the Hawks gain control is DeHaan. DeHaan gets it to Gustafson over to Borgstrom, who clears it, but Osterley comes out with it. Robbie Fabry going in, looking for a shot, and that goes wide. And Tyler Bertuzzi now with it, where Gustafson gets it, and over to Borgstrom. Borgstrom gets it out for Strome, where he tried to send the Hawks on. But the Hawks, with a bad turnover by DeHaan, and the Wings score because of a terrible turnover by Calvin DeHaan to Robbie Fabry. That was a bad turnover that led to a goal for the Wings by Calvin DeHaan. He just tried shooting it out of the defensive zone, looking nowhere, and it goes right onto the stick of Robbie Fabry, and that was terrible by Calvin DeHaan. He tried to get back there to make the save, but he couldn't because he turned the puck over horribly. He had enough time to make a pass if he wanted to make a pass. But no, he rushed a pass and it turns it over. Hawks now in the offensive zone. Jones shoots it and it goes wide, but McCabe comes up with it. Jones with it. Fires, and a save by Picard. That was a bad turnover by Calvin DeHaan. Yeah, he's been playing well. That was honestly DeHaan's worst play all season. If not all season, worse in a long time. God, we play the Wild again coming up. Why did the NHL schedule the Hawks and Wild so close together? All like 3 games so close together. That does not make sense. God, I hate playing Minnesota this year. Strom at the dot wins the faceoff back over to Steph Jones, over to McCabe. McCabe setting up on the blue line, over to Strom. Strom gets it to Hagel. Hagel setting up, getting it over, but Stahl comes out with it. Strom tried to battle for that puck against Stahl. Stahl getting it, but Hagel gaining stealing the puck over to Kane. Kane tries to get it over to Strom, where Hronek gains control. Hronek settling things down for the wings in the defensive zone and gets it up to Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi back to Hronek. Bertuzzi fires and a save by Fleury, and he scores. Off the rebound, Bertuzzi makes it a 2-goal game. God dang it, Hawks. Off a rebound, Bertuzzi just makes it a 2-goal game now. Do the Hawks seriously just come in and want to play control defense this period? Nothing should be sit back and play defense. You should always control and attack. You're letting the wings back in this game, and if they tie it, this is on Derek King if he decided for them to sit back and play defense. They're blowing leads. That's what they're doing, Hawkthorne. Shots on net 14-19 in favor for the Hawks, but the Wings have controlled play the first 7 minutes of play this period. Philip Kershaw at the dot in the offensive zone, but gets chased. That's going to now be Kirby Dach. Dach loses the faceoff, and the Wings set up in their defensive zone, sending the puck up over for. God dang it. Foligno setting up, tried to go in, and the Hawks gain control. DeKaiser comes out with it. Kirby Dach with a steal in the offensive zone, fires and a save by Picard. Hawks lose gaining control back in their defensive zone after that puck comes all the way back that far, but the Wings now have it. It's Foligno. Foligno sets up the Wings, and the Hawks now have to play some defense. It's Strider back to Foligno, over for Strider. Hawks Philip Kershaw played well defensively there. Foligno comes out with it though. Foligno gets it up to Bertuzzi, Strider, who gets the Wings in. DeBrincat comes out with the puck in the defensive zone. Lafferty now with it. Lafferty tried to clear it as he got double teamed and checked. And now Nick Leddy with the puck. Leddy going in is the Wings. The Wings setting up, and the Hawks trying to battle. Murphy tried to get that puck out of the zone, and the Hawks can't. The Wings are just pressing the Hawks this period. Caleb Jones now with the puck. Going up the ice to DeBrincat. DeBrincat for Taze in the neutral zone. Taze is flipping it down where Nick Leddy gains control. Leddy settling things down for the Detroit Red Wings. Leddy gets it over to Osterley, to Shooter. Suter going in and dumping it into the Hawks defensive zone. Suter going around Fleury. Suter setting up. Suter shoots it in a block up front. Ryan Carpenter gets it to Mackenzie Entwistle. Entwistle going in. Entwistle and breaking through. Trying to one hand tuck it in, but couldn't. And now the Wings come out with the puck, and the Hawks will be going to the power play. 10:48 remaining in the second period. Hawks to the power play. Suter back in the box. Hawks did capitalize on their last power play when Suter was in the box. That was the only power play of the game. So let's see if the Hawks can do what they did last time. I'm somewhat frustrated that how this period's playing out, but the Hawks now set up. It's Steph Jones. Jones over to Kane. Back to Jones. Jones loses control, and the Wings now go on to the attack. The Wings setting up. And Fleury has to make a save and hold the puck. 1:46 remaining in the power play. 10:34 remaining in the second period. And Veleno had a chance to make it a one-goal game. All right, Dylan Strome in the defensive zone for a face-off, where you should not be in that position for a power play. Hagel comes out with the puck over to Kane, back to Jones. Jones behind Marc-Andre Fleury and goes up the ice, but it's going to be a push and back entry as he almost turns the puck over. But Kane now with it. Kane going over to Alex DeBrincat. The Hawks are just getting pressed in their defensive zone. We're now DeBrincat going on a rush. Cat going in. Cat couldn't set up, and the Wings now come out with it. Izzo Sterling. And what? Steph Jones getting a penalty at 1:13 remaining on the power play. It's going to be 4-on-4 Hawkey, 10:01 remaining in the second period. Jones gets called for what, cross-checking? That power play was horrendous. The Hawks going to get anything going. I guess Steph Jones is getting called for interference. It's 4-on-4 Hawkey, and with 1:13 remaining. Jonathan Toews at the dot in the defensive zone. Toews wins the puck cleanly. Hawks now set up. It's Toews. Toews behind Marc-Andre Fleury going for the Hawks on a rush. Toews now in the neutral zone. Toews going into the offensive zone. Deking in the offensive zone is Toews. Toews loses control but regains it in the neutral zone. Over to Gustafsson. Gustafsson sends the puck up to Lafferty. Lafferty couldn't get it, and that's going to be an icing. 50 seconds remaining of the 4-on-4. 9:38 remaining in the second period. Well, the power play's over, so it doesn't matter. We can't score on it, but the Hawks should try and score on this 4-on-4 attack. Letty with the puck getting checked by Lafferty. Hawks come out with his Jonathan Toews. Toews loses the puck, and the Wings now set up. The Wings going in is Hronek. Hronek now with it, leaves it for Letty. Letty going over to Ernie. Ernie leaves it for Veleno. Veleno goes over to Hronek. Hronek tried to shoot it, and there was a block up front of that shot. Calvin DeHaan comes up with the puck over to Erik Gustafsson. Gustafsson doesn't get the puck. Veleno comes out with it. Gustafsson now with it. Gustafsson going into the offensive zone with the puck. Looking for Lafferty. Lafferty tries to shoot it on, and the Wings come out with it. That's going to be the end of the 4-on-4. Bertuzzi getting checked by DeBrincat, gets it up to Kirby Dach. Dach going in. Dach trying to break through, but Scheider was there to beat Dot. Fabry now with the puck. Fabry with 38 seconds remaining on the Hawks PK. It's now Scheider. Scheider up the ice for the wings is Larkin. Larkin going in. Larkin sets the wings up as Scheider. Scheider on the blue line tries to set up Raymond. Raymond goes over to Bertuzzi, where DeBrincat checks off Fabry, and Raymond now comes out with it. Raymond with a shot and a save by Fleury. 11 seconds remaining on the Hawks PK. This period's has all been Detroit. Ryan Carpenter at the dot versus Dylan Larkin. 11 seconds remaining. Hawks try to get it, and they do. It's Lafferty, but Scheider gets it on the blue line, and they shoot it, and that's going to kill the penalty. So Steph Jones is out of the box. Hawks now are even strength with the wings. Wings setting up is DeKaiser. DeKaiser tried to shoot it over, but the Hawks now with it is Lafferty. Lafferty turns it over to Bertuzzi, and Bertuzzi just flips it on into Fleury's glove. Sorry, I got the hiccups there for a second. This period has not been what the Hawks needed. They're just allowing Detroit to come back in this game. Because shots this period, 8-5 in favor for Detroit. Last period, it was 16-8 in favor for the Hawks. And the Hawks put up four goals. Here we go again. Let's hope the Hawks can battle and start gaining momentum back, because the first period it was all Chicago Blackhawks except for the first 5 minutes of play. But this period, it's been all Detroit. Tays at the faceoff dot versus Suter, and Suter wins the faceoff. Over to Stahl. Stahl checking in. Stahl throws it onto Fleury. Stahl leaves it for Bertuzzi, where Lafferty blocks it. Stahl now gets it across for Roenick, and Suter getting checked by Tays. Suter coming up with it. Pius Suter gets it to Stahl. Stahl gets it down for Fabry. Fabry setting up a cycle for the wings. It's Pius Suter with a shot, and Steph Jones can't clear it. The wings look like they're still on a power play here. Bertuzzi comes up with the puck, gets it over to Roenick. Back to Bertuzzi, cutting in. Bertuzzi leaves it for Hronek, and he shoots it, and a save by Fleury. DeBrincat gets the puck and clearing it down, but Hronek is there. Stahl now with the puck. And the Wings now continue the momentum. Hronek shoots it and a block by McCabe. Hawks can't get it out. And the Wings set up again. The Wings now going in is Dylan Larkin. Larkin getting it up. And the Wings are just battling against the Hawks. The Hawks can't do much. Letty with the shot and a block up front. And another block up front was by McCabe by 2 shots from Larkin. Larkin with the puck. This cycle has been all Detroit. Hawks have not been able to get anything going. And the Hawks clear it down the ice. And the Hawks are going to the penalty kill. Dylan Strome to the box. 6:02 remaining in the second period. This period has been terrible by the Chicago Blackhawks. If I'm Derek King, I will call a timeout to settle things down. Strome gets called for a high sticking on Lucas Raymond. So a full 2-minute power play for Detroit here. Larkin at the faceoff dot versus Ryan Carpenter. Come on, Carpy. Carpy loses the faceoff and Schneider with it. Sets it the Wings up. Shot by Larkin. That goes wide. Hawks now trying to battle. I guess the puck went out of play. Come on, Carpenter. Carpenter lost the faceoff again. Schneider sets up the power play for the Wings. Murphy cuts the puck and clears it down the ice. 1:42 remaining on the Detroit power play. Schneider with the puck after Picard settled things down. Raymond now with it. Raymond gets it into the offensive zone, going all the way to Larkin. Larkin with the puck over to Fabry, back to Raymond. Raymond setting up the Wings. The Wings now go over to Schneider, over to Larkin. Larkin looking, and he shoots it wide. DeBrincat trying to get to the puck, but Schneider is there. Raymond now with it. Raymond gets it over to Fabry. Fabry with 1:05 remaining. Schneider with it. Schneider shoots it wide, and Murphy almost turns it over, and Fleury just flipping all over in the goal crease without a stick now. Larkin with the puck over for Schneider. Back to Larkin. Larkin getting it down, and the Hawks get it is Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat in the neutral zone. DeBrincat just clears it for a line change. Fleury better be getting his stick. 40 seconds remaining on the Detroit power play. Schneider with it. Schneider going in all the way into the Hawks offensive zone. It's now Ernie. Ernie gets it over to Larkin. No, that's Zadina. Back to Hronek. Hronek tried to shoot it, and the Hawks just block it and clear it out. 20 seconds remaining on the PK. Letty with the puck over to Hronek, and he shoots it in, and the Hawks clear it right out. 10 seconds remaining on the PK. This should kill it. The Wings now go on the attack. And that goes out of play. That should be a penalty. That should be a penalty. There should be a penalty, in my opinion. But there's not. Hawks have killed the power play of the Wings, and the Hawks now are even strength. Ryan Carpenter with the puck and getting it to Dylan Strome. Strome freshly out of the box, but Carpenter gains control, and the Wings now go on the attack. McKenzie and Whistle battled for that puck, and the Wings have control, and they are going in, looking for a shot, and a nice save by Fleury. Veleno with the puck getting battled by Murphy. Murphy getting the stealing the puck off of Veleno's stick. Hawks now in the neutral zone with it, but the Wings gain control. The puck is now down in the Hawks defensive zone where Caleb Jones settling things down for everyone to get off the ice for a good change. 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the second period. Jones with the puck. Jones setting the Hawks up and sending it up to Dylan Strome. Strome just clearing it into the offensive zone, and the Wings come up with it. It's Stahl. Stahl loses control to Hagel, and he shoots it wide. The Wings now with it is Raymond. Raymond now with it. Going into the neutral zone for the Detroit Red Wings is Dylan Larkin. Larkin loses control to McCabe, and the Hawks go on the attack. Is Strome to Kane. Kane tried to feed it up to Hagel at the slot, but it didn't work out. But McCabe is there on the boards battling Raymond. Over to Strome. Strome gets it to... that was Jones with the shot. Okay. Steph Jones with the puck now in the defensive zone gets it up to Dominic Kubalik. Kubalik breaking in, who did score earlier tonight. 2:20 remaining in the second period. I feel like that penalty kill helped build some momentum by the Hawks because they really needed it. What happened to the chat? If you're new to the channel, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I will highly appreciate it. All right. Khrushchev won the faceoff. Caleb Jones setting up the Hawks in the offensive zone. Hawks now battling as Caleb Jones over to Khrushchev. Khrushchev on the boards getting checked by Schneider, and the Wings come up with it, but Jones now on the blue line over to DeHaan. DeHaan fires, and Picard with the save. Dylan Strome at the dot versus Pius Suter, who gets tossed. We're Robbie Fabry versus Dylan Strome. Strome loses a face-off because it looked like a bad drop of the puck. Steph Jones gets the puck, and that was an icing. So 1:53 remaining in the second period. This period really has been all Detroit, but the Hawks have been looking better after that penalty kill when Strome got sent to the box. 153 remaining. Dylan Strome versus Pius Suter. Strome wins it cleanly. Over to McCabe. McCabe gets it over to Kane. Kane setting up over down the ice for Hagel. Hagel getting battled by DeKaiser. Hagel still has control. Hagel going over to the blue line to Steph Jones. Jones fires and a save by Picard. Yeah. At least they didn't blow the full 4-0 lead. Knock on wood on that. I don't want them to blow the full lead. Strome loses the face-off to Larkin, but the Hawks come up with it as the 50-50 puck of Hagel with Kane. Kane setting up over to McCabe. McCabe fires and a save by Picard. Strome looking for the hat trick, almost gets it. Strome couldn't get control, and the Wings now go on the attack. Is Raymond. Raymond going in, getting checked by McCabe, but Raymond is still with it. Raymond cycling around, and a nice block by Steph Jones. Jones now with the puck over to Strome. Strome sends the puck up the ice, and Brandon Hagel tried to battle Osterley, but that was at the end of the shift. 55 seconds remaining in the second period. Osterley with the puck, sending the puck down where Steph Jones gains control. Hawks send it in, and Osterley regains control. The Hawks now on the defense where Fleury with the puck for DeHaan. DeHaan, who did turn over the puck earlier. The Hawks now clear it down the ice. Bertuzzi with the puck. Now Bertuzzi going in, setting up the Wings. 25 seconds remaining. Osterley with it. Osterley gets it down to Fabry. Fabry gets checked but keeps control. Fabry on the blue line gets it to Osterley. Osterley to Suter, and Suter scores. 13 seconds remaining. The former Blackhawk makes it a 1-goal game. Pius Suter makes it past Marc-Andre Fleury. The Hawks have literally sat back this period. Could there be goalie interference? No. Fleury could not see the puck. Pius Suter gets his revenge. He scores against his former team. Thank you, Stan Bowman. I freaking hate you. This period brought to you by sucking. The Chicago Blackhawks sucked that period. They allowed the Wings to come back and make it a 1-goal game going into the third period. Because this team does not know how to play defense when they have leads. Thank you, Derek King. Thank you. You should be ashamed of yourself for having this team sit back and let the Wings come back in it. God damn it. This game should not be this close. When you have a 4-0 lead in a first period, you should be playing out the rest of the game. This game is a 60-minute game, not a 20-minute game. You have another 20 minutes of play. Don't allow the Wings to tie it because you literally blew a 4-0 lead. It's now a 1-goal game. The Hawks need to step up and play some defense and get some offense going again. Because holy crap, how bad does it have to be? That was a disaster of a period for sure. You can't blame Fleury at all. That was all on the Hawks defense, sitting back and letting the Wings get this game into a 1-goal game. The Hawks in the third period better come out, play some smart hockey because they legit are not. We're not doing that in the second period. They allowed the Wings to come back in this game. thing is, they won't get rid of him until the end of the year because they aren't going to hire a head coach until this summer. Let me grab my lighting. Haven't the Rockford Ice Hogs been terrible? Yeah, the Wings outplayed the Hawks in that second period. Hopefully, in the third period, the Hawks come out and actually play hockey. Smart, scoring hockey. the thing. He's an interim coach. He's not the actual head coach, Hawthorne. Don't think about it that way. He most likely won't return as head coach next year. He's an interim head coach. He's better off as an AHL head coach, yes. But he's an interim. He's not the main guy after this year. The Hawks need to make trades to acquire assets such as picks and prospects. Do I like when the Hawks have to blow things up? No, I don't. I'm hoping the Hawks are competing for a Stanley Cup each and every year. But at this time, the Hawks are a rebuilding team who are too delusional to actually believe it. The Hawks are going to be blowing things up. It's going to suck. It's going to happen, though. When you need draft picks, you need prospects. When you're viewed as a team who doesn't develop prospects well, you have issues because the Hawks have not been developing prospects well. Look at Nick Bodam. Look at Ian Mitchell. Look at how Kirby Dach has been developing. They have not been developing well. There's some issues in the prospect development process and the drafting. Last year they showed sparks, but that was like the fact the Hawks were one of the youngest teams in the NHL, and they then traded let a lot of those young pieces go in the offseason because they thought, okay, we're contenders because we were so close to playoffs at the beginning for the first half of last season. This team is delusional if they don't do something to fix their issues. And fixing the issues comes to the point where they have to make hard decisions such as moving players for picks and prospects. I agree they put Dach in way too early. They should have let Dach develop a little bit more. Then they allowed him to play for Canada, and then he got injured in Canada. Yeah. And it hasn't been going that well. They need to. I think it would be a smart move to let Dach have some time down in Rockford and work on his game down there just so he can develop more down there. It would be a smart move by the Hawks. They won't do it though because Dach's a former third overall draft pick and they don't want to basically say, yeah, We are sending him down to Rockford for conditioning. But I feel like it would be a smart move if the Hawks were to send Kirby Dach down to Rockford to condition his game, to develop that face-off, and just gain a little confidence. Because if he goes down to Rockford, he'll be easily the best player on Rockford. Maybe. Because Lucas Reichel has been great in Rockford this year. But it would be a smart move to let Dach go down to Rockford, develop a little bit, come back up, and he will probably have more confidence in his game. Because look what the Hawks did with Philip Kurashev. He was having a terrible season to start. They sent him down to Rockford. He played a few games down there, then came back up, and he's actually playing with a lot of confidence and playing some of his best hockey. I think it would be a smart move by the Hawks to do something like that for Kirby Dach. Yeah, Cole Caulfield got sent down. And that was basically for conditioning to regain confidence. And I think that's what Kirby Dach needs. It's sent down to Rockford to condition and gain some confidence and maybe put a chip on his shoulder. Because no one wants to be sent down to the AHL. They never will. If you get sent down to the AHL and it's for a chance to build confidence in a player or put a chip on their shoulder, it would be a smart move. Kirby Dach got the dot versus Dylan Larkin, and Docker wins the faceoff. Connor Murphy comes up with it. Murphy in the neutral zone tries to get into the offensive zone. The wings now set up is Osterley over to Letty. Letty gets it over, and the wings get it down where Connor Murphy gets checked, but he gets it up to Kirby Dach. Dach gets it up to Kubalik, and he couldn't get the puck cleanly. Jordan Osterley now with the puck, settling things down for Detroit. Osterley having control, going up the ice to Raymond. Raymond going in, and the Hawks, Lafferty comes out with it. Lafferty loses control to Raymond. Raymond sets the wings up. The wings now are in for a cycle where Raymond now with it. Tays gaining control and loses it right to Dylan Larkin. Tays getting checked by Raymond, and Raymond comes out with it. Hawks almost let them tie it, and the Hawks now come out. Jonathan Tays dumping it into the offensive zone. Hronek loses it to DeBrincat. Tays with it. Tays just throws it into the slot, and the wings now come out with it. It's Ernie. Ernie dumping it in. And Connor Murphy with the puck. That was a terrible camera angle by TNT. DeHaan with it. DeHaan loses control, but the Hawks get it out, and the Hawks are on the attack. Dylan Strome, who is looking for a hat trick tonight, is Patrick Kane in the neutral zone. Kane getting checked by Ernie, but Kane still has control. Kane sets it over to Murphy. Murphy sends the puck up the ice, and the wings gain control, and that will be an icing. 18-17 remaining in regulation time. 4-3 game, shots on net 27-21 in favor for the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah, he would have some leadership. He has NHL experience, and he would bring some leadership down in Rockford. The Wings had won a faceoff, and they just shoot it out of play. Borgstrom tried to won the faceoff, and the Hawks get into the neutral zone. Detroit tried to clear it, and the Hawks gained control. Is end whistle in the neutral zone. Now offensive zone gets it in, dumping it in. DeKaiser comes up with the loose puck and clears it down where Fabry is on a rush. Fabry loses control to Borgstrom. And now that should have been a trip. The Wings tripped Steph Jones, but no call was happened, and the Hawks have to try and battle to clear it, and they do. Luckily, no goal. Jake McCabe with the puck after an icing. 17:27 remaining in regulation time. Wow, the Flames won 6-0 over the Blue Jackets. Elvis faced. Holy crap, that's a lot. Elvis Merzlikins faced 62 shots today. Picard gets the puck. Kane now with it. Kane in the offensive zone gets it, tries to get it over to Strome. Now Hagel with it. Hagel tried to do a slot pass, but Letty steals it. Letty is on a 3-on-2. Fabry sets it up and sends it over to Raymond. Hawks try to get it out of the zone, and Murphy now with it. Murphy settled things down for Strome. Strome tried to leave it for Murphy, but Murphy had to let Fleury gain control. The Wings now gaining control is Stahl. Stahl sends the puck up, but the Hawks, Caleb Jones with the puck now, sends it over to Kirby Dach. Dach in the defensive zone with the puck, settling things down for Caleb Jones. Caleb Jones tried to send the Hawks on a rush, and that goes all in net, so no icing. Hawks get it is Kurashev. Kurashev going in. Kurashev sends the puck down to Kirby Dach, who gets checked by Hronek. Stahl comes out with it. Stahl sends the puck up to Sam Girard, and the Hawks now in. The Hawks lose control. Girard now with it. Girard settling things down for the Wings, and the Hawks now having to battle for that puck. Hawks get it in the defensive zone, sending it up into the offensive zone, but that's an icing. 15:47 remaining in regulation time. 4-3 Chicago Blackhawks. Kirby Dach at the dot versus Pius Suter. Suter comes up with the faceoff, and it goes out of into the neutral zone as DeKaiser couldn't handle it. Caleb Jones loses the battle for that puck, and the Hawks in the defensive zone. Bertuzzi checking Tays off the puck. Fabry with it. Fabry setting it up. Fabry leaves it for DeKaiser. DeKaiser just shoots it around for Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi tried to clear it over, and DeBrincat comes out with it. DeHaan now loses control to Pius Suter. DeBrincat now with it. DeBrincat on a breakaway. DeBrincat going in. DeBrincat going in, and he's what? Picard made a save on the DeBrincat breakaway. Murphy with it. Murphy's shooting around the ice, and DeBrincat comes out with it. Cat gets it up to Tays. Tays in the slot over to Murphy on the blue line. Fires and a save by Picard. Tays gets the rebound, and nothing comes through. Fabry with it, and the Hawks on the power play. 14:44 remaining in regulation time, and the Chicago Blackhawks will be going to the power play. I believe it's Pius Suter again going to the box. Third time to the box Pius Suter goes tonight. All right, Dylan Strome at the dot loses the faceoff to the wings, but Hagel gets control back. Hawks now set up the power play to bring it over to Jones, back to Cat. Cat setting it up over to Strome. Strome behind Picard over to Hagel. Hagel to Kane. Kane looking for Jones over to Cat. Cat back to Jones. Jones to Kane. Kane goes down to Strome. Strome to Cat, and he just gets picked, and the Hawks have to go back. Fleury sends the puck up to Kane. Kane going on the rush into the neutral zone, now offensive zone. Hawks are, it's still in Strome. Strome, who's looking for a hat trick tonight, over to Jones. Jones sets it up on the blue line. Hawks are setting it up. It's DeBrincat back to Hagel. Hagel over to Jones. Jones on the blue line, looking, setting it up, trying to break in, fires and goal! Hat trick for Dylan Strome as he tips it in. Dylan Strome hat trick gives the Hawks a 5-3 lead. Dylan Strome, your career first hat trick tonight. Let's go. Stromer. Told you I'm throwing my hat when a hat trick happens. And I had a hat right behind me in time because I had some bad hat hair looking on the stream. Yeah, Stromer gets a hat trick. Dylan Strome, have yourself a night. A freaking hat trick you receive. 13:50 remaining in regulation time. 5-3 game, Chicago Blackhawks. Dylan Strome with the Hattie. I'm throwing the hat I actually am been wearing this game back on. Dang. You could tell I had some massive hat hair today. It did not look that good on stream if you saw me without the hat on. Osterley with the puck. Gets it over to Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi getting checked by DeHaan. DeHaan gets the Hawks on a rush. Is Entwistle. Entwistle going in. Entwistle getting checked by Letty, and the puck gets loose, but now the Wings now come out with it. It's Dylan Strome. Strome on the break. Doc is not a bust. I do believe that's the career first hat trick for Dylan Strome. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that is his career first hat trick. Yes, it is. It is his career first. If you're new to the channel and just coming into the stream, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will highly appreciate it. He's not a third round pick. He's still young, exactly. I think what he needs is this a conditioning stint down in Rockford to develop a little bit, build some confidence. That's all Doc really needs. Dylan Strome, have yourself a night. Kirby Doc at the dot versus Valeno. 4-point night for Dylan Strome. Doc wins the faceoff, but the Wings gain control. It's DeKaiser. DeKaiser gets it over to Scheider. Scheider shoots it, and that was blocked. 12:52 remaining in regulation time. Taves loses the faceoff. Wings set up. It's Zadina. Zadina gets it to Rasmussen. Rasmussen gets it up to DeKaiser. DeKaiser shoots it around the ice. Hawks now gain control. It's Jonathan Taves in the defensive zone trying to get it out. It's now Zadina shoots in, a save by Fleury. Yeah, I have massive hat here tonight because this morning my hair was psycho looking and like Albert Einstein hair. Just crazy and all over the place this morning without a hat on. So I threw a hat on and it's now bad hat hair. Oh my god, Hawks lost a faceoff. It led to craziness in front of Fleury. 12:20 remaining in regulation time. 5-3 Chicago Blackhawks. The Coachella Valley Firebird jerseys. Yeah, I saw them. They basically are a navy or an orange version of the Seattle Kraken jerseys. Nice save by Fleury on Osterley's shot. It's getting chippy now. We have a fight. Gloves off. DeHaan's going after someone, but Smith went after Murphy. What the heck? What was that? Smith is getting sent to the box. He should get a couple penalties for that. DeHaan's headed to the bench. Smith is in the box. He got ejected. He's kicked out of the game. Okay. Power. Should be a. Smith went after DeHaan, started throwing punches. Then he went after Murphy, and then he pushed DeHaan down to the ice. But it's 4-on-4 hockey. The guy got ejected. What penalties were given? Murphy's in the box. Giovanni Smith gets a misconduct against Calvin DeHaan. Connor Murphy gets a roughing. Hey, Drew, how are you? Thoughts on the Jordan Subban and what happened the other night? Feel bad for Subban. Thing that happened the other night in the ECHL was a complete and utter disgrace to hockey and should not belong. That type of stuff shouldn't belong anywhere. And that's what I have to say. Tyler Bertuzzi on a 2-on-1. Bertuzzi getting checked by Caleb Jones. Jones now with the puck. Jones on a 3-on-1 with the Hawks. DeBrincat over to Taze. Taze back to Cat. Cat scores! 6-3 Chicago Blackhawks. Nice passing play by the Cat, Taze, and Jones. That's how we like it. 6-3 Hawks game. The Cat gets on the board. Caleb Jones steals the puck off of Bertuzzi, sends the Hawks on a 3-on-1 break with Caleb Jones, Taze, and DeBrincat. Cat gets it over to Taze. Taze back to Cat, and Cat buries it. Empty net. Tic-tac goal. And Bertuzzi smashed his stick against the post. Raymond getting checked, and the Hawks have to play some defense again. Dylan Larkin with the puck over to Hronek. Hronek trying to beat in the Hawks. The Hawks now having killing it. It's now Eric Gustafson over to Jake McCabe over to Hagel. Hagel in the defensive zone sends Patrick Kane. Kane with the puck. 45 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. Kane now in the offensive zone. It's Hronek now coming up with the puck. Hronek gets it up to Dylan Larkin. Larkin sends it over for the Wings to go on a rush. Larkin breaks in and he shoots it wide. Calvin DeHaan gets it, but Stahl comes out with it. Stahl now with it. Stahl checking DeHaan, and Larkin comes out with the puck. It's now Rasmussen. No, that is Raymond. Raymond sets up the wings and setting a cycle. And that's 6 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. And we were able to capitalize on the goal. Whatever the Buffalo and Toronto do for Heritage Classic jerseys, they better be worth it. Yeah, I'm shocked they haven't released those jerseys yet. I'm expecting since the game is right by St. Patrick's Day, the Leafs could bring out a green version of the St. Pat's. And Buffalo, on the other hand, is a good question mark. They basically are wearing their throwbacks. I don't think they'll bring out the angry Buffalo of the 90s. I don't think they're definitely ever bringing back the Buffalo Slug. Buffalo is a wild card. I could potentially see them bring back their 40th anniversary jersey they used to wear, because that was a nice kind of heritage looking jersey. I kind of hope Buffalo brings that jersey out of the closet, because that would be a nice looking jersey on the stadium of the Heritage Classic. Yeah, the Angry Buffalo jersey coming back next year is nice to see. Am I a big fan of it? Not really. Do I consider getting it and maybe putting uh Dominic Hasek on it? Maybe, because I do like Dominic Hasek. But I don't know. Dylan Strome at the dot versus Villain. No. Stromer wins the faceoff. McCabe now with it. McCabe getting checked by Zadina. McCabe with the puck sets up the Hawks going on a rush. McCabe going in. McCabe sending the Hawks in and stuck in the neutral zone, but dumping it into the offensive zone. Picard tried to play it, and the Hawks now set up. It's Hagel. Hagel loses control as he really didn't have much control. Now Picard playing the puck over for more Scheider. Scheider, who is a big scoring defenseman, is having himself a good rookie year. Not a good game tonight, really. The Hawks now have to play some defense. Veleno going in, setting up Letty. Letty shooting it wide. Tays coming out with the puck. Tays getting checked off. Now Kane over. Kane tried to sing to bring it, getting checked by Letty. Letty setting up the wings. The wings now set up is Zadina. Zadina over to Veleno. Veleno's going in for the wings. The wings now setting up over to Zadina. Kane, good help check on Zadina, and the Hawks to the PK. What? Ryan Carpenter to the box. What did he do? Maybe. It depends. I don't know what's going to happen. Uh, Power play to Detroit. Ryan Carpenter, one of our key PKers, are in the box. Lafferty at the dot, facing off against Dylan Larkin. Larkin gets tossed for Fabry. And Lafferty wins the faceoff, and the Hawks just clear it down, but the wings set up. It's Raymond. Raymond goes over to Fabry. Fabry shooting it wide. Hawks just tried to clear it. It went off the Lafferty's skate, so Strider sets up the wings. Raymond back to Schneider. Schneider back to Raymond. Raymond looking in. Raymond going back to Schneider. Schneider on the blue line going down to Fabry. Over to Raymond. Raymond setting up to Schneider. Schneider looking for Raymond. Raymond shooting it down to Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi over to Raymond to Schneider, and he scores. More Schneider on the power play makes it a 2-goal game again. Oh, wrong button. This has been a high-scoring game. Murphy screened Fleury. Fleury could not see it. That's kind of on Connor Murphy for just screening Fleury that way. That was bad. I don't think so. Detroit did it right. They allowed Schneider to develop. The Hawks just rushed Kirby Dach into the league. Hawks in the offensive zone is Whistle, Carpenter, and Borkstrom. Borkstrom steals it. Borkstrom in. Borkstrom setting it up. Going in. Deking through. And Picard didn't even face a shot. Oh no. Gerard going in. Hawks now set up. It's Caleb Jones just clearing it. Heronic with it. 7:18 remaining. And then Nesakov shoots it, and the Hawks get it out. Is Whistle. Whistle setting up the Hawks. Whistle looking for an outlet. Getting it down the ice for the Hawks, but the Wings now come up with a loose puck. Dylan Strome steals it for Connor Murphy. Murphy sends it up to Hagel. Hagel clearing the puck down where Picard comes out of the net and plays it up to Letty. Letty sends it up to Zadina. Zadina gets it across the ice over for Veleno. Veleno going in, and a good block by Connor Murphy. That should be a penalty, but there's no call. As Eric Gustafson was getting hooked, I should say. Fleury playing the puck over to Gustafson. Gustafson sending the puck up the ice. Down the ice we go is Osterley versus DeBrincat. DeBrincat checking Osterley, and Cat trying to come out with that 50-50 puck on the boards. And Taze gets it. Taze gets it to DeHaan. DeHaan over to Kane, and Kane shoots into the pads of Picard. Kane battling on the boards over to DeHaan. DeHaan sends it down to Taze. Taze behind the net, setting it up for the Hawks. Taze over to DeHaan. DeHaan setting it up. Going down to Kane. Kane looking on the blue line over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat cycling for the Hawks here. Over to Taze from Kane. Taze gets it up to DeHaan. DeHaan on the blue line fires, and a glove saved by Picard. Yeah, earlier in the period, during the intermission, really, Drew, I was talking about how Kirby Doc probably needs some time down in Rockford to develop and gain some confidence down there, because I feel like he needs it. I want us to get a first round pick and a prospect if we trade Fleury. I still don't know if we were trading him, to be honest, because it's all honestly, it's all up to Marc Andre. Colton has been developing well down in the W this year. He's been playing really well. I believe I can pull up his numbers real quick. Down in the WHL with the Kelowna Rockets, Colton Dawkins, 30 games played, has 14 goals, 18 assists for 32 points on the season. Those are good numbers. Those are really good numbers. Yeah, I know, but he really can control where he wants to go. Yeah, he basically has control on where he wants to be, if he wants to be traded, where to be traded. So that's all up with Fleury. Hawks setting it up. Steph Jones with the shot, and a save by Picard. 5:38 remaining in regulation time. Ian Mitchell wasn't rushed. He's played well when he gets the opportunities. They just don't play him. That's really cool to see, Nimmer. When I saw that he scored, I thought it was really cool. Brendan Hagel going in, fires, and it goes wide as it was blocked. Fabry gets it up, but the Hawks now have to go back. It's Pius Suter going in. Suter setting up the wings, and he just throws it onto the pads of Fleury. Strom comes up with the puck over to Kane. Kane just dumping it in. Hagel now with it. Hagel on the boards gets it down to Kane. Kane getting checked by Suter. Suter comes up with it to DeKaiser. Over to Schneider. Over to try to feed it up to Pius Suter, and the Hawks gain control. Hawks now dumping it into the offensive zone, but that didn't work out. As the wings now set up is Danny DeKaiser over to over to more Snyder. Snyder sends it up to Larkin. Larkin dumping it in. DeHaan tried to clear it out. Larkin keeps it, and he scores. Are you serious? Dylan Larkin just made it a one-goal game again. Was this really 4:33 remaining in regulation time? Dylan Larkin gets the wings within one. Yeah, that went in. Dang it. At one point, this was a 4-0 lead for the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah, but Bowman was an idiot and didn't want to sign him. Yeah, they confirmed it if it was a goal or not, and it was a goal. None of these you can really blame on Fleury. He's had himself a game. It's just the fact the Hawks defense has been horrendous. And there's still a lot of time on the clock. Fleury comes out to play the puck. It's now the wings now setting up. Taves comes up with the puck, clear sending over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat trying to break through. Rennick was battling to Brincat well, and the wings gain control. Sam Lafferty made a mishandle, and the wings might be called for a penalty or offside, one of the two. You used to be on my Discord? Who are you? Yeah, this game has been insane. A 6-5 game. Hawks Strom loses the faceoff, and the wings set up. Caleb Jones checked on the board, and the wings now with control. Hawks come out with his Hagel. Hagel trying to get on a rush where he was checked off the puck by Osterley. Osterley gets it over to Letty. Hagel picks it and he scores! With a bad turnover by Nick Letty, Hagel beats Pickard, and he gets the Hawks their 2-goal lead right back. The Bagel gets on the board for himself. Have everyone a goal tonight. How about it? 7-5 Chicago Blackhawks. This is some old time hockey type crap tonight. Holy crap. Letty just turns the puck over to Hagel. I guess that's a return of a gift that DeHaan did in the second period. Hagel just buries it past Picard, and the Hawks are on the board. Not on the board. They now make it a 7-5 game. What's up, Rock? This is just stupid. It's just stupid. It's not just what a game, it's a stupid game. I hate high scoring games like this, but holy crap. It's like I haven't I don't think the Hawks have ever put up 7 this season. Wings pull their goalie, 3:17 remaining. It's a 7-5 game for the Chicago Blackhawks. Wings with the extra attacker is Schneider. Schneider looking for an opening to Larkin. Larkin tried to feed Hronek. Back to Schneider. Larkin now with it. Larkin looking for an opening on Fleury, and Fleury makes the save. Here, if you want to return, here, I don't know why you're out of the Discord. I can send you a link to it. Hang on. Here's the link to the Discord server, guys, if you want to join. Hawks have the puck, and they set it up. Wings now with it. It's 2:40 remaining in regulation time. 2-goal game. Wings with an empty net. Schneider with it. Schneider setting up in the neutral zone for the Wings. Tays battling Larkin. Larkin keeps control. Larkin sending it into the Hawks defensive zone where Fleury playing the puck and nearly turns it over, and the puck is stuck on the boards. Tays and Murphy battling to get that puck out off of Raymond. Wings come up with his Bertuzzi to Schneider over to Larkin. Larkin setting up Bertuzzi, and Bertuzzi shoots it wide. Schneider gets it over to Hronek, over to Larkin. Larkin looking for Raymond, and that couldn't work. 1 minute remain, 150 remaining. Tays gaining control, and Raymond trying to get it. Larkin now with it. DeBrincat on the races. DeBrincat going for the empty net. DeBrincat setting up for his second of the night, and he scores! 8-5 Chicago Blackhawks. Holy crap. This game is a stupid, guys. DeBrincat has his second of the night. Dylan Strome has a hat trick. We've seen 8 goals put up by the Chicago Blackhawks and 5 by the Detroit Red Wings. Is it a full moon tonight, guys? Is it a full moon? Because 8-5. 8-5. What the heck? Oh no. Fleury has to make a save off of Gerard. I mean, if the Hawks would have lost to the Wings, I would have said the same thing. But good game by Detroit. They battled against the Hawks. But the offense tonight, where has this been all season? Hawks gain control. Wings now battling, and it's Osterley in the defensive zone versus Borgstrom. Borgstrom gets a turnover. Borgstrom gets it to Entwistle. Entwistle tried gaining control, but Veleno gets it out. Veleno and the Wings go on the opposite side. It's 1 minute remaining in regulation time. 1 minute. Yeah, Detroit's been a lot better this year, I would admit, but I hate losing to Detroit. Kirby Dach with the puck. Docker going in. Dach looking. Dach setting up. Wrapping around! Oh, he almost made it a 9-5 game by a wraparound. Kershev sends the puck up to Dahan, and that will be an icing. 30.8 remaining in regulation time. 8-5 Chicago Blackhawks. This game is stupid. I'm sorry. If you think I'm angry about it, I'm angry on the fact the Hawks defense still sucks. But this game's is stupid entertaining how many goals we've seen. I don't like high scoring games. Don't get me wrong. I like a good defensive minded game where we see maybe a 3-2, 3-1 type of game. 8-5 is a little bit insane. This review is going to be ridiculous tonight. And Hawks win! Hawks win 8-5 over the Detroit Red Wings as the game goes final. CB, you must be a little. Must have had a little bit of a night then. I know that you were making a drinking game out of the goals tonight. Yeah, it was a fun stream. I understand you're mad, but you have to admit this was this insane game, just high scoring, stupid goals putting up. And I'm just like, what the hell happened? Is it a full moon tonight? Because where the hell did the Hawks have 8 goals in them? They've never scored this much. Because this review tonight might be a 30-minute review just in itself. 8-5. What the hell? Yeah, I admit the Hawks have not been good this year. I don't know my next stream. It could be next game, honestly, on Friday night, but we'll see. They play against Colorado Friday night, so I don't know. I might be able to go live for it. It depends. Pat Foley would have had fun tonight for sure. I don't know where these goals came from. Guys, what should I title this game of review? Because I'm thinking just pure stupidity of goals. That's honestly my explanation of this game. What the frick was this? Oh, Taylor Hall just laid out Nathan McKinnon. That was a dirty hit by Taylor Hall. Yeah, what the hell? Oh my God. Nathan McKinnon's bleeding in his face. That was shoulder on head. He should be ejected. And original 6 onslaught, maybe. Original 6 80s hockey, maybe. Because 80s hockey, you didn't have defense and you had plenty of offense. I'm thinking original 6 80s style hockey. Yeah, he got destroyed. Taylor Hall went in with his shoulder on head. That should be a 5-minute major. Unless he hit him and it was the stick that went up on himself after the hit. But he went in with the shoulder. Taylor Hall went in on a hit on Nathan McKinnon, and went in shoulder on head, kinda. It knocked out McKinnon down to the ground, bleeding, but McKinnon's stick got into his own face. I think everyone who watched the game tonight lost on the money line. I don't think anyone picked the over on it because the over would have been 5.5 goals. That's why I saw at the beginning of the game. And I'm not a betting man, so I didn't really take any money on that, thank God. It could be. I don't know. It's an interesting play. Hall went in shoulder for a shoulder hit, but it was a little bit off of McKinnon's stick, which was high. And his McKinnon's stick went into his own face, but it was shoulder on head kind of contact. I think he's ejected without doubt either. Wait, we'll see. I think they only gave him a 2-minute minor. So, guys, I would love to stay on. They only gave him a 2-minute penalty, yeah. So, guys, I would love to stay on the stream a lot longer, but I have a long review to make because 8-5 game, just pure stupidity. 8-5 onslaught, just 80 style hockey. So I want to say thank you for you guys coming to the stream. If you're new to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We just had an insane game between the Chicago Blackhawks and Detroit Red Wings. 8-5. Just stupid. Thanks for coming to the stream, guys. I had a lot of fun with you guys in the chat. It was a lot of fun. And see you guys in the review. And most of all, let's go Hawks!